Hey everyone, welcome to episode 8 of Two Fools in Fantasy Football. This morning we will talk about our booms and busts for all 15 games this weekend. And we'll look at our picks for the top 5 position players at quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight ends. It's going to be a good list. Pay attention. This is Marty McFly. With me as always is Tyler, the uncool fool Greer.
Wait, I'm the uncool fool?
You are the uncool fool.
That's cool. Well, would an uncool fool be wearing the Astros jersey of the Nolan Ryan?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
As I'm wearing the Ravens jersey of Ray Lewis.
Ooh. You mean Ray Lewis?
Ray.
That's what happens when people call it after he hit people. They would call him Ray because he would knock the crap out of them. So just ask Eddie George. Just saying. So, yeah, we got an awesome episode for y'all. We got great information here for you. We're going to start off with the booms and busts here for the NFL Week 8. We're already in Week 8, which is crazy. For us who play fantasy football, that is basically the halfway point. For us who play certain leagues where they have 4 weeks in the championship, that is a little bit less than halfway. So, we're going to give you some good booms and busts for each game. And here we go. We are going to start it off, and we're going to rock and roll.
First, I want to reiterate, rest in peace, Sean Connery. You were amazing. You'll be missed.
He was quite phenomenal.
He was, yes. Where
Do
am I?
you think they'll ever make another Rock?
No.
Okay, let's go. All right, the first game we're going to rock and roll with is Pittsburgh and Baltimore. As my co-host, Mr. McReynolds, is wearing the proud jersey of the Baltimore Ravens. This is going to be the game of the week by most. This game is not going to be very high scoring. It is going to be a slugfest. It is going to be like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It's going to be pretty cool. So the boom of the week, or excuse me, the boom of the game for Baltimore and Pittsburgh is going to be none other than James Conner, Pittsburgh running back. The reason why we feel he is going to be the boom of this game is for 2 reasons. One, the Pittsburgh pass game has been so-so this year. Has been great, not like the years past with Big Ben. And number 2, Pittsburgh's going to want to control the clock. The reason is they have this guy on Baltimore named Lamar Jackson who's pretty explosive. And the less time he's on the field, the better it is for your defense. And also with that, Pittsburgh got the #1 defense in the league, so they might have a turnover or 2. And if they do, they're going to have short yardage territory. James Conner, there you go. That is why he is the boom for that game. The bust we have for that game, speaking of Lamar Jackson, he is our bust for that game. The reason why is because traditionally he does not play very well against Pittsburgh. And also with that, the stats for Pittsburgh this year on the defense is mind-boggling. They're awesome. They give up 69 yards per game on the ground, and they also give up a whole 217 yards per game passing. So with that being said, Lamar Jackson, he's going to be in for a tough game. Pittsburgh's got a very nice front seven. We all know about the younger Watt brother who is now better than his older brother, TJ. So if you got them, yeah, he is. He really is. So, and they also have Mr. Bud Dupree. So those 2 guys are going to wreak havoc. You know, they're gonna do their thing. So that's why those are our reasonings for the boom and the bust this week in that game. The next game we're going to talk about is the LA Chargers versus the Miami Dolphins for the boom and the bust this week. The boom this week, we're taking the running back from the LA Rams, Darrell Henderson. The reason is we're taking him this week as our boom is number 1, Miami gives up a nice chunk on the ground, 124 yards per game. And also Miami gives up 236 yards passing as well. Now this week, the Miami Dolphins, they have a very nice cornerbacks. So this week with that, the Rams are going to be a little stifled in with the wide receivers. So there might be a lot of check down passes. There might be a lot of short passes. Jared Goff is going to want to get the ball out of his hands. Darrell Henderson is going to be the recipient of all that. So with all the rushing yards, all the short passes, all the yak after the catches he's going to get, we feel that Darrell Henderson is going to be a great boom, a great play this week for the LA Rams. Now, on the flip side, we just talked about the Miami cornerbacks this week. excuse me, we just talked about Miami quarterback. Who we did not cover is the Rams cornerback. They have this guy, you might have heard of him. His name's Jalen Ramsey. He's kind of good. So
A little bit.
A little bit. You heard of him, right?
I've heard of him, yes.
Yeah, they traded him for like a 2 first-round picks last year from Jacksonville. That guy. Yeah. So Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be all over Deontay Parker all game. So Deontay Parker is our bust for this game. And that's the reason why Jalen Ramsey is a tough matchup just going up against anybody whatsoever. We all know Devontae Parker is the number 1. On Friday, he did practice full go for his groin, so he should be good to go this week. With that being said, he's going to be blanketed all game. Keep your expectations on the lower side. Devontae Parker is a very nice wide receiver, just not this week against Jalen Ramsey. So
plus, they're also Tua's getting his first start this week too.
Yes,
so
that's a great point. Great point.
Against that Rams defense, I think he'll be Aaron Darnold will be introducing himself to him quite a bit this game. So.
Yeah. I think Tua is going to be running a little bit here, and I think Myles Gaskins is going to have a nice game too as well with the short passes too as well, because the Rams defense they're loaded. They're good to go.
Yeah.
Just saying. So the next game we are going to cover with the booms and busts is going to be the New York Football Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs. This week,
it was a lot of discussion on this.
This was tough.
Bus. It was a tough decision, but I think let's go ahead and say it. So
should we say it together or separate?
I'll do this one.
Okay, you got it. Okay.
So we think the boom this week for the Jets Chiefs game, the boom is going to be all of the Chiefs, and the bust this week will be all of the Jets. So
what? Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I believe that to be true. Once again, Adam Case still has a job. Why? I don't know.
Oh, they didn't get our letter. That's why.
They did. Yeah, I guess. We didn't get the letter yet, so I guess that's why. So the Jets. I mean, the Chiefs are going to destroy the Jets. I think even the defense will stifle them again. That's why everybody was kind of up in arms about Mahomes last week because he didn't get that many points. Like, well, he didn't need to because the defense and special teams got 2 touchdowns for him already. So
yeah,
I'm thinking I'm going to 35-15 Chiefs over the Jets.
Hey, I mean, a really good fact to have too is we said play all the Chiefs, including the defense. So we're all including the Chiefs defense too as well. So, and if you have the Jets, if you have the Chiefs defense this week, prepare. I mean, you're probably gonna get 20 points on your defensive side, easy. So it's basically gonna have like an extra wide receiver or an extra running back, depending on how you are, maybe extra quarterback. So it's gonna be nice getting those extra points.
Yeah.
All right. All right, the next game we're going to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings playing their rival, the Green Bay Packers. This game is going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. We have a boom and a bust in this game. So the boom for this game is going to be none other than Mr. 3 touchdowns last week, Davante Adams. Sorry, he had 3 or 2? I think he had 2. You had 3? Okay, so I was right. Okay, cool. So Mr. 17 is back for the pack. And just to let you know, I'm not a rapper, but that was awesome. So he is going to have – what?
That was pretty good.
That's not bad, huh? So, but yeah, he is back for the pack. He is crushing it. Minnesota just lost their top cornerback this week too as well to the COVID-19 list. So that just makes more running room for Davante Adams. Obviously, we have Aaron Rodgers. He's going to crush it too as well this week. We all know he hates the Vikings. If you forgot it, he basically cussed him out and flipped him off one time as he was getting carted off the field. That's how much he likes the Vikings, which is 0. So extra motivation for Aaron Rodgers this week, extra motivation for Davante Adams. It's going to be a crush job on that side. So if you got him, play him. You're welcome. No brainer. And then the bust this week for the Minnesota and Green Bay game is going to be the rookie, Justin Jefferson. The only reason why we say he's going to be a bust this week because Kirk Cousins likes to focus in on one receiver only. And his main dude is Adam Thielen. And Adam Thielen, we feel like he's going to have a really nice week this week. And with that being said, Dalvin Cook coming back, He's got his main weapons. They're going to want to try to control the clock, like we were saying earlier, because their defense is absolutely atrocious in Minnesota. The best way to control the clock is to run. Dalvin Cook's going to have a nice game. He's back. They're going to use him. They're going to use that nice shiny toy. They're going to use their Ferrari. And Dalvin Cook's the Ferrari for that team. So they're going to do great with that one. So Justin Jefferson by default. I'm not saying he's not bad, just by default for this game. He's going to have a little rough game, so don't think he's going to hit his mark this week. So just be prepared. So Justin Jefferson owners, just dial it back a little bit on that one. So the next game we're going to talk about, just a little bit. Instead of going 400, just dial back to 350. Not a big deal. So another we have coming up is Indianapolis and Detroit. And Marty's going to tell you about the booms and the busts for this game.
So for the booms this week, we got the running back for the Colts, Jonathan Taylor, the rookie. He's been having a great year this year. The Lions defense is not that stout against the run. Not that good at all. So go with Taylor. He'll get a lot of dump off passes.
That's the theme for Jonathan Taylor this week.
Right, that's the theme for Jonathan Taylor this week. Sorry about that. Anyway, and the bust for that game, we're going to go with Lions receiver Kenny Golladay. Colts have a very good backfield in the defense, so they were ranked number 1. Pittsburgh's now taken over, so they're still like number 2 or number 3 defense overall. So Golladay won't see a lot of passes this weekend. So I would bench Golladay this week, or don't bench him, but he's not going to get his typical points that he normally gets. So.
Yeah, one thing I really want to emphasize on that Colts defense is their front seven is just legit. They are a nice front seven. So, and the other reason, the logic behind that is we feel like Matt Stafford is a hot and cold quarterback. Some weeks he's really hot, the other weeks he's really cold. But with that front seven, he's not going to have a whole lot of time. And Golladay is their mid to deep route guy, so it's going to be really tough for him to get open all week. So that's why we put Golladay on the bust list this week for that game. Next game we're going to talk about. This is going to be an extremely high-scoring affair. If you have anybody on your team on the wide receiver side, anybody on your team on the quarterback side, expect great things. But unfortunately, we only picked one boom and one bust per game. So we're going to talk about the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Dog Pound of Cleveland this week. And probably the most high-scoring affair for the week. So, Marty, tell us, who is your boom and bust for the week for the Las Vegas Raiders and Cleveland Browns?
So, for our boom for the Raiders, the rookie, Ruggs, the receiver. The Browns secondary is just atrocious. Sorry, Ruggs the third. I apologize.
Okay. I did 2 and 1 and 0.
2 and 1. 2 plus 1 equals 3. You're right. We're good at arithmetic here.
Dude, my first math skills off the chart right now.
Yes. So Ruggs for the Raiders. The Browns defense is absolutely atrocious. Sorry, the secondary is atrocious. The run defense is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. It's better than the secondary. So we think that Carr is going to be throwing all over the place, and he's going to be getting the bulk of the receptions. Possibly, I think we said 2 TDs in our last video. He'll get in this game. Also, look for Darren Waller, too. It's a decent game against the Browns. We will, and our bust for this game, the Browns, is the Raiders running back, Josh Jacobs. Like I said earlier, the run defense is a little bit better than the secondary. So don't look for Josh Jacobs to get a lot of rushing yards this game. Maybe, I would say maybe 60 yards, but no touchdowns. So he won't be doing his same production as he normally does. So
yeah, Marty,
yeah, just don't put too many eggs in the Josh Jacobs basket.
Marty, you broke up really good for the Josh Jacobs one again. Can you say all that one more time?
I have to remember that now. Anyway,
yeah.
So Josh Jacobs, the Cleveland run defense is a lot better than the Cleveland secondary. So don't look for Josh Jacobs to get you his normal amount of points. We're thinking maybe 60 yards and 60 yards on the ground and maybe 20 20 reception yards, but no TDs for Josh Jacobs this week. So
Yeah.
just be wary of Jacobs. You can still start him, but don't look for his regular production this week.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not an Astros fan. They suck. I hate them. I just love Nolan Ryan, greatest pitcher of all time. So that's the only reason why I wear this jersey. So, okay, and we're gonna mosey on over to is gonna be another high scoring game too. It's gonna be Tennessee, the Tennessee Titans, because we are the Titans, and we're gonna play against the Cincinnati Bengals and the Joe Burrow led Bengals. So this week, we feel like this is going to be a high-scoring game. This was a tough game, too, to pick just one boom. There's going to be a lot of guys in this game who are going to get you lots of fantasy points. Everybody on the Titans basically is going to get you a ton of points this week. So if you got them, play them. So, but the one boom that we picked, I think we disagreed on this one, too, right, for the boom?
Yes.
Right.
We differed on this one. So
I shouldn't say disagree. That sounds like we're fighting. So
yeah.
We had mutual, respectable opinions of who we think is the boom's going to be this week. So the boom who I believe this week's going to be for the Titans is going to be the wide receiver A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown had a colossal week last week. He's going to keep it rolling. Cincinnati's pass defense is atrocious. They're giving up almost 300 yards per game. Ryan Tannehill is going to feast too as well, and the recipient of that is going to be A.J. Brown. So if you got A.J. Brown on your roster this week, start him. Playing with confidence, of course. He's going to crush it. He's going to eat, and he's just going to be incredible. Now, Marty, who's your boom for the week for this game?
My boom for the week would be the Bengals receiver, Tyler Boyd. I think, Tyler Boyd, yes. I think he's going to have a good game this week just because I think everybody will be focused on T. Higgins and A.J. Green, and they're going to maybe not forget about Tyler Boyd, but give him a little leeway this week. Titans secondary isn't that well either. They give up a lot of yards. And also, like I just said, our bust this week, we think is going to be A.J. Brown. I'm sorry, A.J. Green, pardon me. A.J. Green for the Bengals. Bust this week for this game is going to be A.J. Green. He is, everybody knows he's not the A.J. Green of old. He's not. So look for him not to do his regular production. That's our boom bust, one of our two disagreements on the booms this week. And we'll get to the other one later.
Yeah.
So mine is and Tyler's is A.J. Brown.
Yeah. So I got A.J. Brown this week. You got Tyler Boyd. I will say one thing about Tyler Boyd. He's got a phenomenal first name. So, I mean, you couldn't get any better.
Stop it.
I'm just saying, dude. I mean, I should pick him next year for fantasy football just because of his first name. So
you should, yes.
I should pick everybody named Tyler. So Tyler Higbee, Tyler Boyd. Yeah. I think that's where that Tyler name ends at, though. So okay. So the next game we're going to talk about is the New England Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, dude. What a year so far. How freaking pumped up are you right now to be a Bills fan? You got to be jacked up. This week, for the boom of the week, that actually is going to come from the New England Patriots, and we feel it is going to be the running back, Damien Harris for the New England Patriots. And the reason why we are picking this one guy to be the boom this week is, number one, last week they got just slammered by San Francisco. I just made that word up. Hopefully that works. It's hammered and slammed at the same time. Slammered. So slammered. Yeah, they got slammered by the Niners last week. So if you guys need a word of the day, use it. Pick it up with that. So we'll trend that one for our 8 subscribers worldwide. So it'll be freaking awesome. But anyways, Damien Harris, they're going to want to try to control the ball against Buffalo. We saw 2 weeks ago, Kansas City manhandled the Buffalo offensive line. New England's going to take a script from that. Bill Belichick loves to repeat what other stuff is being successful for. Their best running back is Harris. He got 10 carries last week for 58 yards. He was on the field for 22 plays, only because the game script last week was absolutely atrocious. The Patriots just got slammered by the Niners, so that's the reason why he didn't get a whole lot. This week is going to be a little different. New England's going to want to pound the ball. They're going to want to grind it down to a halt. They're going to want their defense to be on the field as little as possible. And that And there are other reasons too on top of that is because Cam Newton is struggling extremely bad. Cam Newton, this is the worst he's played football in his entire career since he's been in the league. And that rolls right into our bust. We feel like our bust this week is going to be Mr. Cameron Newton. And the reason is because he's playing terrible football. They just lost their top receiver too, as well as Edelman for, out indefinitely because he just got his knee surgery done on Thursday. So those two factors combined, and with Belichick, how he wants to control the game and grind it down, it's going to be a tough game. So it's just going to be a low-scoring, hard-hitting, typical NFC East game. And Buffalo never really does great against the New England defense too as well. So with all those factors built in, it's going to be a run-heavy game by New England, and the recipient of that is going to be Mr. Harris, their best running back in that backfield. I am saying it right now. Harris, best on New England. Sorry, Burkhead and Sony Michel, and who am I missing? Somebody else. I'm missing like 5 other running backs, but we're not gonna get into that.
No.
So the next thing we're gonna talk about, Marty's gonna tell you the boom and the bust on this week is gonna be the Los Angeles Chargers going up to that cold state, as they known as Denver, to play the Denver Broncos.
So, this week for Chargers Broncos game, we're gonna have our boom is the Chargers tight end Hunter Henry. I think he's gonna have a good game this week. Broncos they're middle of the pack with their defense, so we just think that Justin Herbert's going to be doing a lot of dump off passes to Henry and stuff like that this weekend. So look for Henry to have maybe 70 and 5 for 70 with 5 for 70, 1 touchdown. Also, our bust this week will be Keenan, I think, against that secondary, because they'll be so focused on him that's why we're picking Hunter Henry to be having a decent game this weekend against the Broncos defense.
Yep.
So next game, we got the Saints going to the Windy City to face the Bears.
The who?
The Bears.
Oh, the Bears. Oh.
The Bears. So the Booms, neither defense is really good in this game, neither one of them, but Saints have the edge in the defense this year. Kamara is our boom in this game. For me, Tyler's got a different one. I think Kamara's going to run all over the Bears defense. They're horrible. Their run defense is bad. Their only bright light is Khalil Mack, not Calvin Mack. Khalil Mack, pardon me.
That's his cousin.
Their only bright spot is him. Huh?
That's his cousin. That's fine.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So yeah, my pick for the boom this week is going to be Kamara.
Yeah.
He's going to continue on his MVP style season this year. So
he's crushing it.
And the bust that we both agreed on is for the second in a row going to be Allen Robinson for the Bears. Lattimore's going to cover him like crazy, so that's why I would be too high on Robinson this week because of that right there. And Tyler's going to give you his boom since we differed on this one. So Tyler's going to give you his boom for the.
Yeah. So my boom for this game, I have a boom for 2 reasons on this one. Number one, because it's a revenge game for this guy. I mean, he played in New Orleans. He had his best ball there. He played there for quite a while. We all know him as Jimmy Graham. So that's one of the reasons. And number 2, my other reason why he's going to be a boom is because New Orleans defense gives up 29 points per game on the defensive side. So with that being said, I'm doing the math in my head, quick math. Let's see. If you get a touchdown, that's 6 points. 29 divided by 6 is about 4+. So that's about 4 touchdowns possibly. So with that being said, I think Jimmy Graham's good for 1 touchdown this week. He's probably going to get 6 receptions, maybe for about 80 yards at most, a touchdown. So if you got him in your tight end spot, you're looking good this week. Revenge game. Jimmy Graham's a great weapon to have. Anytime they're close to the red zone too, you'll notice if you watch it, since Nick Foles has been the quarterback, he likes to do jump balls, 50-50 balls to Jimmy Graham. Why? Ex-basketball player. The guy can get it. The Saints are obviously very aware of that. So I think it's going to be a nice game for him. Say, hey, Coach Payton, remember me? Yeah, that guy. So yeah. It's going to be one of those things. So the next game we're going to talk about is on the West Coast. we are going to talk about the NFC West. And by the way, that is the best division in football. If you watch any games in that division, it's been a lot of fun. If you watch Seattle and Arizona on Sunday night last week, wow, that was an incredible game. And I'm on the East Coast. Marty's on the East Coast, so that was a late night for us. But that was a fun game to watch. I couldn't take my eyes off that game. That was awesome. But this week, San Francisco is playing Seattle this week in Seattle's home territory in the upper Northwest, known as the Seahawks Stadium, the 12th man, as they call it up there. Or the 12th ghost. I don't know. Maybe there's no fans up there now, so I don't know.
Yeah, there are no fans.
Yeah, I don't know. So the 12th ghost. I mean, I don't think that's going to marinate very well, but we'll just throw it out.
It is Halloween, so
hey, there you go. I'm just saying, like, you know, somehow. But this week, we have a great boom this week for San Francisco. This is not going to be a shock by any stretch of imagination. We took the easiest boom in this game, George Kittle. George Kittle is the #1 pass catcher on San Francisco. Seattle's giving up almost 400 yards per game in the air. George Kittle, best tight end in football. Him and Kelsey are, you know, 1A and 1B, however you want to slice it. So this week, George Kittle is going to have a great week. We said on our earlier video, George Kittle 2 touchdowns this week. I stand by that the entire time. I think he's going to have a game where he came back off an injury and he just blew up. I think it was like 12 for like 153 and a touchdown. And honestly, I wouldn't think that those numbers are too far away. I expect him to do 10 catches, about 120 yards, maybe even a little more, and 2 touchdowns. And I think those are maybe even on the low side, honestly, because who's going to stop Seattle? Jimmy G's just going to toss him the ball. Seattle can't stop anybody in the secondary whatsoever. Kittle's going to have an explosive day. It's just, and I might be lowballing those numbers, to be honest with you, too. So except for the touchdowns, but the 120 and the 10 catches, I might be lowballing on that one because Jimmy G, he loves Kittle. Yeah, it's gonna be close to those, I bet. No, that's what I'm assuming. The bust in that game is gonna be Jerick McKinnon. For the Niners, he didn't play at all last week, and a lot of people wanted him to play after Jeff Wilson Jr. went down. It's gonna be a tough week because Tevin Coleman is supposed to come back. We'll see what the final result is on Sunday. But there's so many mouths to feed in that San Francisco backfield. So, and they also brought up Jermichael Hastings too as well. So just kind of, we'll see what happens on everything. So just kind of temper your expectations on him. And to be honest with you, everybody on the running back for the San Francisco 49ers might be a bust this week because they might just they might just throw somebody else that we've never heard of before in that backfield. Who knows? And they might get Kyle Juszczyk, 40 rushes that game. Who knows what they do? They're all crazy all over the place. So, but just be wary of Jerick McKinnon this week. I wouldn't play him. Just put him on your list. Let him sit down. It's hard to predict what the Niners are going to do, especially with Kyle Shanahan. He likes to go with the hot hand. So just be very careful on that one. The next game we're going to talk about is a Sunday night game as of right now, unless they change it, which they might. It is the Eagles versus the Dallas Cowboys. And on this one, Marty is going to tell you who we think is going to be the boom of the week and who is going to be the bust of the week.
Okay, so for my Cowboys, I am a Cowboys fan. It's tough to swallow this year, but anyway, the boom we picked, it's hard for me to say this, but the boom we picked this week is going to be Boston Scott because the Cowboys are atrocious at run defense this year. They're absolutely horrible. I could probably rush for 50 yards against that defense, and I'm 41. Anyway, Boston Scott, he's going to run all over the defense on Sunday Night Football. Plus, they're in Philly. The bust this week, I'd say, but I think Zeke, just with a rookie quarterback running out there, I mean, Zeke would have to do the workload of everything. He's not the Zeke of 2-3 years ago. So I just think he's going to be our bust this week. He'll get some points, but it won't be a 20-point game by any means. I mean, it might be 11 or 12 at most. Yeah. But I just don't. It's not going to be a decent game for him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, on top of that, rookie quarterback, no offensive line. I mean, Martin might be back this game. He's in concussion protocol. I don't know the update or the status on him. I just saw that he was still in concussion protocol as of Thursday. So, I mean, just one offensive lineman, and they're already missing 4. It's still going to be tough no matter what. So that's just a tough sled. So Now, the
So
final
last game,
oh, go ahead.
midnight football. We got the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the New York Giants. This is the last one that we disagree on, and it's going to be on the bust. But the boom this week, we think Tom Brady. It's a revenge game for him since he lost 2 Super Bowls to the Giants.
Yeah.
The defense, the Giants defense is bad. They're just bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, Brady's going to be throwing all over the place to Miller, Gronk, Evans. Chris Godwin's out this week because he had surgery on his finger, so he will not be playing. But I think, yeah, Brady, our boom this week in that game is going to be Brady. And our bust this week my bust this week in that game is going to be the quarterback for the Giants, Daniel Jones. The Tampa Bay defense is no joke. He won't be running anywhere because they give up the Tampa Bay. The Bucs give up the least amount of rushing yards of any defense. So I just don't think that Daniel Jones will be having any type of game this week at all. So that's my bust this week, but Tyler's got a different one. So
yeah, my bust this week is on the Tampa Bay offense. It is the running back, Ronald Jones III. The reason why he's going to be my bust this week is first and foremost, him and Leonard Fournette. Now that Fournette is healthy again, they're time sharing. They're splitting the ball. They're splitting the rock. And last week, Leonard Fournette was a little bit on the hotter side, so they went with Leonard Fournette. And it kind of just seems like the more and more tape you watch on everything, the more and more Bruce Arians is trying to get away from Ronald Jones. So with that being said, I think Ronald Jones is going to have a very small amount or small role in the offense this week. I think Brady's, like Marty said earlier, Brady's going to roll. He's pissed off. He's basically playing Eli Manning Jr., and he's going to freaking just rock the Giants defense this week. So, but yeah, good luck, Giants. And then also, too, I said this, I don't know if I've said this out loud publicly, but Tampa Bay this year is going to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to throw it out there. And not just because it's Tom Brady. A lot of people are probably thinking, oh, this guy, Tom Brady. No, if you think that, no, I don't like you. Don't say that shit. The defense. The defense is going to win the Super Bowl for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year, not the offense and Tom Brady. Lock it up.
Just like they did in 99.
2002?
No, 99 that won.
Buccaneers won in 2002.
You're crazy. Maybe they did. I thought it was 99.
Yeah, no, it's 2002. No, they won in 2002. That was Gruden's first year. So.
Right. Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Gruden went to the Raiders, went to the Buccaneers, won the Super Bowl. Now he's back at the Raiders. Like, yeah, okay, cool.
Right.
So you gotta love that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
So all right, cool. Now we are gonna give you the top 5 quarterbacks this week, and this is what we're gonna do. We're not doing the top 5 anything. We're doing the top 5 by points this week. We are gonna go out there on a limb and say who the top 5 quarterback scores are gonna be this week in order. So number 5 this week, we feel like it's going to be Russell Wilson for the Seattle Seahawks. We didn't talk about him in the boom or bust or anything like that. San Francisco's got a very nice defense, but when you have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett on your outside, and we all know Russell is passing more this year, he's rushing more too as well, which he's probably going to need to scramble a little bit in the Niners game. He's going to be a great option for 5 this week. So not going to be a top tier, but he'll be right there. The Niners defense is really nice, but they're not going to be able to stop Russell all game. It's just not going to happen, especially playing in Seattle. Number 4 this week, we're going to go with the rookie, Mr. Joey Burrows, number 1 pick overall for Cincinnati. Cincinnati this week, they play the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a really rough game for them. It's going to be a high-scoring game. Both quarterbacks are going to be throwing haymakers all game. So it's going to be a very nice game if you have Joe Burrow. Number 3 this week, we're going to go with Patrick Mahomes. They're playing the punchless New York Jets. The Jets suck. Kansas City good. Do the math. Number 2, we're going to go with Ryan Tannehill. Now, this is probably a surprise the most, but Tannehill is playing as a QB1. He's been one of the best QBs in fantasy football over the last year. Over the last year since he's taken over that job. This week, he's going to have AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, Jonnu Smith, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, all those guys are going to have phenomenal games against the Cincinnati Bengals, who can't stop anybody. And number 1 quarterback this week, we have mentioned him in the boom and bust. He was part of the segment we included, Aaron Rodgers. this week against Minnesota. Last game he played against Minnesota had 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. I expect nothing less on this. I expect Aaron Rodgers to do the same thing. 300 yards plus 404 yards on the receiving end, especially with Aaron Jones still being questionable with this calf injury. Aaron Rodgers, you got him your quarterback, number 1 quarterback this week. We are saying that here first. Lock it up. Brady, give us the top 5 running backs this week.
Lock it up. You lock it up. Running backs.
It's locked.
So, starting number 5, Minnesota, Dalvin Cook. He's going to have a great game this weekend against the Packers. Packers don't have a great rush defense, so he will be getting some dump-off passes. It's kind of his comeback game, mini comeback game he hadn't played in the last two and a half or 1.5 games. So look for him to have a decent, very good game this weekend. Number 4, we got Jonathan Taylor, the running back for the Colts, the rookie running back, having a great year this year as a rookie. The Lions don't have a good stout front seven, so look for him to run all over the place this weekend. Number 3, Boston Scott for the Eagles against my Cowboys. We already talked about it in the boom, and I don't want to discuss it again. Just start it, okay? Number 2 on the list. Number 2, we already talked about it on the boom and bust. We got Alvin Kamara for the Saints going against the Bears. We think the Bears, like we said before, their only bright spot on that defensive line is Khalil Mack. So we're looking at Kamara to get possibly 140 rushing, 2 TDs, and maybe another 40 or 50 receiving, maybe a touchdown receiving. Not quite sure on that. Maybe more receiving. All right, maybe more receiving. But he's our number 2 this week for points. Number 1, we've got the new beast, the new man-child, Derrick Henry out of Tennessee going against the Bengals. I don't know what else to say about Derrick Henry. The guy's unstoppable. He's huge. Just put him in. We're looking at 160 against the Bengals defense and at least 2 touchdowns, at least, I think.
Oh, yeah.
So
easy.
Yeah. So that's our top 5. Dalvin Cook, Jonathan Taylor, Boston Scott, Alvin Kamara, and Derrick Henry.
That's right.
Tyler's going to give you the wide receivers now, top 5 wide receivers this week.
Sorry, I'm going to give you the top 5 divas. I mean wide receivers. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call them divas. So I don't know why I would do something like that. So our top 5 list, none of these guys are really divas. These guys work pretty hard. And just one comment about Derrick Henry, man. He is just going to tear it up this week. Oh, my God. If you got him, man, holy crap. Good luck. Enjoy your 40 burger. So the number 5 receiver this week we got, he's got a great first name. We talked about him earlier in the video, Tyler Boyd for Cincinnati. We think he's going to just have a phenomenal week. They play the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee doesn't have the best pass defense, to say the least. They give up almost 300 yards on that side of the ball. Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow. So we have Joe Burrow as a 4 on the quarterback, and Tyler Boyd is number 5 for the wide receivers. So correlation there, absolutely. Number 4, we got for the Kansas City Chiefs, Mr. Tyreek Hill. So if you have Tyreek Hill this week, just to let you know a little tidbit, he is averaging over 23 yards per catch against the Jets defense. So this week with Patrick Mahomes, as you know, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL. Tyreek Hill is always a top receiver in the NFL. We expect Tyreek Hill to have a very nice week. He's going to get at least 1 touchdown. He's going to get, I'm just guessing, I'm going to do a little prediction here. He's going to have 1 touchdown, 60 yards at least in this game. He's going to have a bomb from Mahomes somewhere in there. So just going to throw it out there. I think that's not that's not like a crazy thing to say. I think it's pretty realistic, and he's due. He's due for one of those anyways. Number 3 on our list, we have from the Tennessee Titans, A.J. Brown. Another correlation here, just like Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. We had Ryan Tannehill as number 2, A.J. Brown as number 3. I mean, that's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory right there. So I'm not going to go too much further in detail on that. Number 2, we have, this is going to be a surprise because 2 and 1 are from the same game. So number 2, we have Adam Thielen. We feel like is going to be the 2nd best receiver this week. And part of the reason what we were talking about earlier with why we think Justin Jefferson is going to be a bust, Adam Thielen is Kirk Cousins' main man. Kirk Cousins likes to focus on one receiver. He's really good about that. Dalvin Cook's going to come in. He's going to have a very nice game too as well. But Adam Thielen at the end of the day is going to light up the Packers. He always does. He always has a good game against the Packers. Rivalry game. He's getting up for that 24/7. He loves that kind of stuff. Number one, I already kind of gave it away. We talked about him very glowingly with the booms this week. Devontae Adams, number 17 for the Green Bay Packers. He's come back, and he's absolutely just throttled everybody. He is phenomenal. If you got him, play him. He's going to be the top receiver this week. Enjoy your 30-burger, 35-burger. He's going to absolutely eat this week. And then we're going to go with the top 5 tight ends, and Marty's going to give you the top 5 tight ends here.
All right, top 5 tight ends. Just this for scoring is what we're going by. We got number 5
Points.
Going with Hunter Henry for the Chargers this week, going against the Broncos up in the Mile High City. Justin Herbert's playing just nuts right now. So the Broncos, their defense is in the bottom tier this year. Put in Hunter Henry. We already talked about the booms. So start him. You're going to get plenty of points. I would say 18 points for Hunter Henry this week. 4, we already talked about his cohort in the QBs, Travis Kelce for the Chiefs tight end. Put him in. Mahomes, it's going to be – it's not even a game. Like, whoever's showing that game, they might as well switch to another game in the third quarter because it's going to be boring to watch because it's going to be so just lopsided. So Travis Kelce, we got at number 4. Number 3, we've already talked about 3 of his other teammates in this list. Juju Smith, tight end for the Titans. That game's going to go nuts. It's just so if you've got any part of the Tennessee offense, start him. So that's why you have Smith at number 3 this week. Number 2, going to the Raiders, Darren Waller for the Raiders. That game, I mean, against the Browns, we already talked about Ruggs having a huge game. Darren Waller's going to have a game too. Huge numbers for that guy on Sunday. And number 1, talked about Aaron Boom. He's the best wide receiver on San Francisco, George Kittle. Nothing else needs to be said about the guy. The guy's just amazing. He's outstanding. So he's our number 1 scoring tight end this weekend.
And not only that, not only is he the number 1 tight end in the NFL, he's got the number 1 hair in the NFL too. His hair is awesome. So I'm waiting for him to be in a dandruff commercial with Patrick Mahomes. Like that would be awesome. I'm just saying. I respect Troy Polamalu. He's incredible. But man, George Kittle, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, come on, dude. Kelce might be a little jealous, but his hair is not as glorious as Kittle. I don't care what Kelce says.
Like always, please like, share, subscribe.
Yeah.
Comment down below, please. We haven't got any comments yet, so anything good, bad, and different, just leave a comment at thoughts that we're doing. If we need to change, what we can do better, please. Like 8th episode, so we're just doing what we like to do. So any and all information would be greatly appreciated. So thank you very much.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for checking out our video. Please like, subscribe, add, share. We appreciate everybody. We have 8 subscribers now, so everybody who subscribed to us, thank you so much. We appreciate your support. Please spread the word about us. So this is our 8th episode, so I mean we know we're getting better. We're definitely improving. Thank you for being here at the ground floor. We appreciate you. Just go ahead and tell us all the comments, anything you want us to talk about, anything else you want to have any questions about. If you have borderline, like who you want to start this week, who you're trying to sit this week, any questions like that, we'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Just let us know down below. Anything we can improve on, anything you can see that we can do better, any facts you want to know too as well, we'll add that on too as well for you. We're all about facts and numbers. So thank you all very much. You have a great Halloween. This is Nolan Ryan, aka Tyler the Uncool Fool Greer.
And this is Ray Lewis, aka Marty McFly, saying everyone have a happy Halloween, and we'll talk to you guys on Monday.
That's right. Get lots of candy, and if you want to send it our way, we'll be more happy to eat it for you. Not a problem. All right.